If you've ever thought of starting your own online business, or even tried starting your own online business, but like 90% of online entrepreneurs, it did fall through, I guarantee you're feeling this, which is what a lot of people are saying, which is imposter syndrome. And trust me, I've had my fair share of it. How do you actually get past that? How do you get past this kind of mental barrier that you've now put on yourself, that any other time that you start to think that you have a new idea that could actually work for you, you have something that you may be passionate about, that you could be selling online, that you could be impacting other people's lives, it always starts to go back to feeling like an imposter. And then you're starting to tell yourself, I can't really do this. I can't really do this. I'm not capable of doing this. I've never done this before. I feel like an imposter if I even try to do this. And every single time that you think of a good idea for a possible way of working it out, then you walk yourself down back the aisle to the moment of unbelief and making yourself not passionate about it anymore. Because in your own mind, I'm not capable of this. It's impossible. If you felt any one of those things, that what imposter syndrome has been kind of doing to you, I felt exactly all of that for years. And sometimes even still now. But now that voice is a lot quieter. Because there's only a couple things, really. Because I've honestly felt this imposter syndrome for quite a while after failing 4 different types of online businesses. And it really sucked. And I started to discourage myself like I was just sharing. Every single time I had a good idea, I just threw it down. So how the heck do you actually get past this? How do you get over this? How do you move past this and actually start to take action and actually start to hype yourself up again? And for me, I can only tell you the solution that has worked for me. And that solution was building a skill that I can be confident in, because it's provided me results and also it's provided me money in the same time. So that at that point, I know I could take this skill along with a plethora of other skills that have made me money at the same time to actually then, okay, no, I'm actually capable of doing this. And that imposter syndrome can actually be pushed away by facts. Because the main thing of what imposter syndrome tells you, or the thing that is kind of like pulling you towards that unbelief in yourself, is telling you, hey, you have this aspiration to do something big with your life. Do something impactful. Do something different. Something that you might love and be passionate about. Then the logical fear side comes in and is like, wait a minute, you've never done this before. How do you know this will actually succeed? How do you know you won't end up like the 90%? How do you know this? How do you know? How do you know? And then, in all honesty, a lot of times we say, like, I don't know. And that's the tough thing. And then we don't have anything to combat this imposter syndrome with. So I decided, like, look, I don't have that many skills that I can say that I'm confident in so that I can build something, a business with it. And in all honesty, I'm not sure how long more I could take just throwing myself against the wall and seeing what sticks to it. Just trying error after error after error, trial and error over and over and over again, and trying to see what will work. Because that's how most people start. And don't get me wrong, that's great for other people, whatever. But for me, I felt like there would have to be a different way. And that's what kind of led me to thinking like this, in the similar way of like, okay, I want to build this thing, but I know I have to give credit to like what I'm feeling and what I understand right now. If I just, and at the same time, I don't want to keep throwing myself at this wall over and over again. So what I decided to do was, let me sit down and understand what's the kind of business that I want to get into. What's the kind of business I want to start? For me, it was an online coaching business. So what's the logical next step? What if I learned something to get inside of a business, or even just properly prepare me a little bit more to actually handle something on my own? And I decided to take the first route, which was just, okay, I learned this skill called appointment setting. I took 3 months to learn it. I got through a course. I met a lot of people through it, and I got trained adequately to do that. And to the point where I got hired into a coaching business that was already working, that was already sustainable, and that already had a good amount of profit. So in there, obviously it's online, and there's a lot of convenience with it. But the main thing is I'm learning also a lot of stuff, not just with the skill with it exactly, but also everything after that, everything around it. What does the marketing kind of look like? What does his systems kind of look like? What are the things that are actually making it work well? What does CRMs actually look like at that point? How do you handle all these different things? How do you handle all the clients? How does the procedure kind of look like? What does the structure of all like the course and the offer look like, and everything else like that? It exposed me to all of that stuff. And then from there, because I've been there for 2 years now, working in there, and actually the main thing that kind of like allowed me to learn even more and get even deeper to what the business actually looks like is that every single day that I was actually finished with my task and made sure that I finished it to the utmost ability, I would always ask one question, which is like, hey, is there anything else I can do? Then at that point, it would actually move me along. And my boss gave me a little bit more opportunities. He showed me what content marketing looks like, helped me like learn and then actually kind of do it for him at a certain point. Then I was handling the operations of the business. Then we had to restructure everything. And then I was an active process of that. Then it came to running ads, and then I helped with that. And then now it came to sales, and now I'm helping him take sales calls. To be honest, I'm the only one taking sales calls now. And so it's a whole different process that got me to where I am right now. And now I can honestly say, like, whenever that imposter syndrome comes and combats me and is like, hey, you never done this before, you never had a own business before, and it's like, that's true. Technically, I've never had my own business before. However, I've worked inside of one for so long, and I've been a secondhand man to someone for so long, and I've learned all these different skills, and I know what it actually takes to own a business and actually start this. And now it just takes, because I know exactly what it takes. Product market fit, building an audience, doing all these different things and all the different strategies to kind of get there. Then the main thing at that point is just doing it and not being afraid of it, because it might take a while, sure, but instead of kind of throwing myself at a brick wall over and over again to see if I can break through it, having to have that breakthrough, I can go through specific doors that will get me to the same place, rather than trying to thrust myself against the wall so many times trying to figure it out. And listen, if that is you, trust me, if you want to keep doing that, go ahead. But in all honesty, for me, there's a lot I still have to learn. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not here to say I know everything. I'm not an Alex or Mosey or anything like that. But I can definitely tell you I've learned a lot of things. And I'm looking to do this in the specific way that I kind of want to build this business, rather than building what everyone else builds, right? And the same thing that's not really special, right? Like, I actually know the uniqueness that I can provide, and also what uniqueness actually is provided by a lot of other businesses too. And right now, I'm still in the building process, so I don't really have anything concrete to give you, which I would love to do right now, but as of right now, it's not fully built out, and I'm still working on it. And I'm going to give some people to test and whatnot, and to see what they think and whatnot. And, if you want to be part of that process, hey, hit me up in the comments and whatever. I'll make sure I can give you access to whatever. But apart from that, it's pretty much just the only way that I knew that I can get past this imposter syndrome and kind of this mental barrier to actually get to where I know I want to be, where God has called me to be, where I am supposed to be, is building a valuable skill, getting confident in that skill, and at the same time, knowing that it is actually possible to make money online. And I would say that's a very good solution for you too. Because if you've never done anything online, if you've tried and frustrated yourself over and over again, trying to start different things, let's take time, learn a skill, a valuable skill at it, and then get good at it. And then at that point, it instills a certain type of confidence in you, so that whenever that imposter syndrome, whenever those doubts actually come in, which is our most kind of like, that's the thing that sabotages us the most, our own thoughts, rather than any other obstacle in life. If you can finally get over that and have the evidence to kind of conquer that, nothing is going to stop you in enough time. Really, nothing is going to stop you. If you keep going and your mind, it doesn't sidetrack you over and over and over again, you will make it. Now, if you want to continue doing that, thrusting your head through the wall and trying to get through that breakthrough the hard way, sure, go ahead, do that. But if you want to do it in a slightly different way, where you don't have to probably go months without even making any kind of money online, probably learn a valuable skill. for me, that was appointment setting. And that's one of the easiest skills that I know like people can learn, people can get into. And then that's a straight way to go into sales, which is a little bit more higher leverage too, but also gets you a little bit deeper into what the business actually looks like in any kind of business, whether it's coaching and whatnot. And that's just what I want to say. That's how I got over my own imposter syndrome and overcame it, even after failing 4 different businesses. And I hope you can take just this nugget of like learning this valuable skill and getting to that place so that you can do this for yourself. That's all it is for today. Hope that added value to you. If you liked the video, hit subscribe to all that corny stuff that every single freaking YouTuber says. But I love you. I really do. And I'll be here next week to talk about more things about business and all that jazz. But really appreciate it. Love you. Have a good one.